Hello everyone, this is Sudeep from Coingerabbar, joined by Laura. And I must say she's a name in the industry, have been with the industry for past 10 years, running up and down. She must have joined crypto when crypto was a kid and she was also a kid.
Keep the compliments coming.
So that is one thing. But she's a person who would definitely like to know more about what is happening in the industry and how there has been a paradigm shift in the industry from the traditional crypto to the more modernized and advanced version of it. So Laura, what have exactly been the past 3 years like, or since you joined the crypto ecosystem?
So when I first joined crypto, and it was in 2016, so almost 10 years ago, and I can't even imagine being in the space for so long, it was a Wild West. No one really understood what they were doing. I remember we did one of the first ICOs and we raised a couple of 7 figures in literally less than a week. And we had 3 demos, website, white paper, and a wallet. And it was crazy. But as the years kind of were going through, thank God we had more serious players coming in, more institutional adoption, because back in the day, there was no investor protection, there was no user protection, and there were a lot of products that are being launched that ended up not having the best interest of their users. And let's say you register for the wrong product, your account gets frozen. You have nowhere to go, you have no institution to report to, whereas right now we have the government bodies, so users can feel safer. If the users feel safer, they're more inclined to try new products. So that's definitely a very big change. Another big change is just the industry maturing. So there's more money being poured in. We have bigger funds coming in as well. Government in the US, we have a lot of US interest. Europe trailing their path with MiCA as well, kind of creating a right environment for crypto business to be incorporated there. So overall, the industry is maturing, more mature players are coming in, and more opportunities are happening as well.
So, is there any shift that you see from just the tech side events, the tech touching events, to the real life touching events, having real life use case scenarios? Are there projects which are shifting more towards the solution of the real life problems?
So I would say right now, the biggest challenge that we have is A, adoption, and B, the scalability of the whole industry. So we have amazing tech talent, we have amazing products that are being built. The problem is, we don't have users. We don't have enough liquidity right now in the space as we had, let's say, 5-6 years ago, just because there were much less products. So liquidity wasn't scattered around as it is right now. So I would say the biggest products that are doing very well in this market are those that are utilizing some sort of Web2 elements. They might have Web2 community, might have a product there, and they're bridging that know-how to Web3. Because we need liquidity, we need users, we need more mainstream adoption. And that is basically the biggest challenge we're trying to fund right now.
So if we just talk about how the projects are coming, the Web2 problems are being solved the Web3 way, that is one way. But do you think events like this, the bigger events like this, are the only solution to adoption? Or what could be the next criteria, or what could be the next steps to bring it more to the common public so that they can build trust in it? If you see any traditional investor, they would say crypto is a scam. So if somebody asks you, if your grandmother asked you that crypto is a scam, how would you explain it to her?
So you have a couple of questions here, and let me kind of unpack. So first of all, these events are good for the industry to connect, but these events are not for mainstream adoption. Because in the end, if we're thinking about mainstream adoption, we have 7 billion people in the world. We don't need events. We need easier use cases. We need good UX UI. The biggest problem is right now, if I would ask you, being in crypto for many years, how would you do cross-chain transfer? You wouldn't probably go to the bridge, think about the gas fees, try to connect your wallet and say, hey, I'm going to the centralized exchange and just make a transaction there. So you want a simple, easy UX. You want simple UI. You want just very simple to use case. And people, if we want to get more adoption, they don't need to know what's happening in the backend. They don't need to know that blockchain is underlying technology. They just want to log into the app, do the simple things they need to do. Let's say they're doing cross-border payments, or they're doing, let's say, gaming, and there's some sort of in-game economy, and they just love to use it, and that's it. So to answer your second part of the question, how do I convince my grandma to use? I don't need to convince her to use. I just need to wait till we have the applications that are so simple to use and solve the problem of my grandma, whatever the problem she might have. And just gonna use the
blockchain rig.
Exactly. But the thing is, we just overcomplicate things. We put too much technical jargon. One sounds super smart, when in reality, the simplicity is the key. And I'm gonna take an example from fintechs. So for example, we had all of these banks that were offering cross-border payments at huge rates. You have to pay sometimes hundreds of dollars just to make small transaction. Revolut came, and basically like, hey, we're gonna give you a very simple app, very simple XUI. You can do payments to your friends free of charge. If you wanna do cross-border, it's gonna be like a couple of dollars. Now it's even free of charge as well. People loved it. So we have to simplify things rather than make them more complicated to use.
So background, the tech may run, whether UI UX side, as simple as possible. One more thing, the biggest wave of adoption I perceive, in my past life, I have been a financial accountant and auditor for like 20 years before jumping into the crypto industry. So what I have perceived is that the adoption will never come from the user side only. It has to be institutionalized. The banks, the other bigger organizations should basically adopt the blockchain at their back so that users might start using it in later and they might develop trust. So being in the industry, have you seen any such institutionalized adoption of crypto ecosystem?
So there's a lot of institutional adoption that's coming in, just a matter of time. They're slow. We need to understand that when it comes to any big corporation, would it be a bank, would it be, auditing firm, would it be any kind of financial institution, they have layers of approvals, they have stakeholders, they need to have their compliance review, they need to have procurement. It just takes time. And the most important thing for anyone, especially when it comes to TradFi, is not to lose the money. A lot of these institutions do not care about making money. They care about not losing money, hedging against inflation, and even 10% a year, it's an incredible APY for them. So I think they're all on the sidelines watching what's happening in crypto, but they need time to build trust, time to try maybe some of the technology part of it, not necessarily the products, see the benefits of it, and then slowly start to incorporate. It's just a matter of time.
But one thing, if we talk about this institutionalized adoption of things and problem solution for the real life problems, that is just fun part of it, don't you think? Because, community, if it doesn't come through, then crypto will just be fizzing out. That is what my perception is individually. Second thing, again, coming from the Web2 side of things, what I perceive is this industry is clearly missing something that is a main scale connect with the people. How do you envision that to happen in the times to come?
I have no idea. Maybe you can ambition and become an ex-billionaire solving that. Maybe it's a good problem for you to solve.
One more thing that I want to understand is that, in every business, over the time of evolution, what happened is that people segregated into smaller ones and the bigger projects. So the saturation happens that we say 80-20 rule, 80% market governed by the top 3 people. Do you see this happening in crypto? Because I haven't seen projects going overnight for the past 2.5 years.
100%, I definitely agree with you. When you are an established player in a space who survived a lot of bear markets and you have big treasuries, you have all the know-how and you have the brand equity, of course it's going to be easy for you to survive years ahead. And a lot of these big products, they just capitalize specific niche market, they monopolize it. And yes, smaller players have problem kind of entering in. But then on the other hand, we still see some of the, and I'm not going to be naming names, but I'm going to use an example of Web2. MySpace was the biggest social media. Facebook came, then Instagram came, and now Facebook is dying, TikTok is coming. So there's always a place for someone who's an underdog to see some sort of challenge that is not being solved, or why the users have fatigue for using a specific product and come in and solve it. So same thing is happening in crypto. There's a lot of DeFi projects that are actually popping within last year or two, and they're actually cannibalizing some of the narratives.
Yeah, that's fine. It's been a great talk with you, Laura. One thing that I would like to understand is that, if somebody is actually looking for some advice on the crypto ecosystem, you should connect to Laura. She has been a veteran in the industry, although she doesn't look like one. And second thing is that, if you really want to get into the industry and you hold your footsteps, definitely you should be looking forward to experts who have a lot of things to say, who understand how the industry is moving and who have to guide you the path. But one thing is clear, this event is buzzing. It is going to be the biggest event so far, I think, for the token editions.
Yes.
And this was Sudeep reporting live from Coinference with Laura. And she's been a great guest here. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll keep coming with interesting parts, interesting interviews like this. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.